Steve, you've named the squad. How much did you debate, agonise, find it tough, or is it more about continuity being key?
No, you certainly, when you're naming a squad for an event as big as the World Cup, it takes a toll. You've got to think a lot about it. You've got to try and make sure you get the balance right in your squad. I feel I've done that. Everybody knows the way I worked. I don't think there was any point in me talking about what I spoke about building experience over the squad. We've done that in terms of qualification, where they've shown that this is a group of players who understand how to qualify for major tournaments. And I think on the back of that, we've now been to 2 major tournaments. This will be our 3rd. And hopefully the experience of the boys that have been at major tournaments before will come to the fore in this one, and we'll do something that no Scottish team has ever done.
The goalkeepers then, what did you have to consider, and how difficult a decision was that?
Always difficult when you've got goalkeepers that are not playing regular. I think I've touched on this before. As long as goalkeepers are working to their maximum in training, you feel that they can come in and play for a number of games. Obviously Craig's slightly different in that he picked up an injury. We've had it monitored. We've got good reports back from Hearts. I sent Chris Woods up to watch him in training. He's training very well. Craig assures us he's fully fit. And he deserves to go because he played a part of the qualifying campaign. He missed the last tournament. He showed a tremendous resilience to be in the squad, and he deserves to be there. Angus played in a game last week, an under-23 game down in England, just to get some match practice, so he's did a little bit of that. And Liam's in there because he's a very good third goalkeeper. He's good around the squad, his character's good, the players respect him, and he works ever so hard in camp, so that's how I managed to come down on the 3 goalkeepers.
Craig's fitness, is that a risk in any way? Because I saw Chris Woods when I was up at Hearts training myself. Is that something you've had to get guarantees from him or the Hearts medical staff?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Obviously, we can change a goalkeeper at any time across the tournament. So if Craig was to struggle a little bit with injury, which hopefully he won't, and we're pretty certain that he won't do that, we can always have the option to change him. When I go away, I will put a young goalkeeper into the squad as a training goalkeeper, a number 27, a 4th, which should alleviate a little bit of pressure on the goalkeepers in terms of training load. So that's something I've got in mind. I can't give you a name just now because we haven't told the player himself.
What about Ross Stewart coming in? How key is that?
You've jumped straight to the forwards.
Yeah.
You missed the defenders in the midfield. I thought you were going to go through it. I thought you were going through it logically.
Yeah, Ross Stewart. We'll come back. Don't worry. Somebody else will get you. What about Ross Stewart? Because in terms of his form, end of the season, obviously should have another big game to come as well.
Yeah, should have. Now listen, I think it's a good story. Ross obviously was in my squad a few years ago, showing that he could come up to this level, was good in the squad. And then he's had a terrible run of injury. And then obviously this season, certainly the latter half of the season from January onwards, he's hit a rich vein of form where he's shown that he can score big goals in big games. Probably reference the Arsenal game in the Cup, where he shows that he can have an impact on games of that level, which the World Cup will be a very high level as well. He's shown that he can score from the bench, and he's a striker in form, so I decided to add him to the group.